will account for fully 85% of your success. Even people who are in technical fields, such as computer programmers and engineers, spend 75% of their time interacting with other people. All the great successes in life come from good communications. All the top executives who've been interviewed have said that their ability to communicate well with others is more responsible for their success than anything else. And wonderfully enough, how to communicate is a learned skill. And you can get better and better at it by learning what the best communicators do and practicing it until it becomes a regular part of your repertoire. Number one, there are three parts. There are three parts of any conversation. This goes back to the original work by Aristotle in Aristotle's Rhetoric. He said the first part of conversation is ethos. Ethos has to do with the character of the person. Emerson said, "What you are shouts at me so loudly I can't hear a word you're saying." Character is terribly important. Credibility, believability. It's the character of the person. A person who has high character can say little and be enormously influential. A person like Mother Teresa could say a few words and change a person's life. A person with limited character just doesn't have the same effect. B is pathos. Pathos is the second part of communication. It means connecting with the emotions. And we connect with the emotions when we tune in and focus in on the person and their problems and their needs. As a friend of mine who was selling once said to a client that had been going around in circles, he said, "Let's stop talking, just tell me, where does it hurt?" And he waited. And then the fellow told him what the real problems were in the company that this consultant could help. Always remember, people are carrying a heavy load. There was a wonderful line I read that said, if every person who complains about their problems could come from all corners of the earth and take and pile their problems in a heap, they would sneak forward shamefacedly and take their petty problems away and creep into the night. And I think it's an interesting thing when you consider that we have problems, but so many other people have vastly greater problems than us. And when you tune into other people's problems and concerns, it's amazing how much better your life is. And C is logos, is the factual content of the conversation. And the factual content is often the least important, the logos. But until you have established character and connected with the emotions of the other person, the words you say, the argument is really not relevant. In selling, what do we say? In selling, you establish rapport, which is the character. You seek the underlying problem or need, which is connecting with the pathos. And only then do you talk about your product or service, which is the logos. And in dealing with anybody in life, it's those three. Well, number two, there are three elements to any conversation. According to Albert Mehrabian, who is a professor of social sciences at the University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA, he said words only account for 7% of the message. When you talk, it's only 7% is the words. That's why they say in speaking, people will forget most of what you say, but they will remember the way you said it. And B is the tone of voice accounts for fully 38%. Women, by the way, are far more sensitive than men. The rule is that women have a much richer inner life than men. And women are very sensitive to tones of voice and to very tiny changes in tones of voice. How many men heard this? I know I have. When I said, well, I just said this, she said, it's not what you said. Can be clipped or short, and it can be hurtful. C is body language accounts for fully 55% of your communication. And the rule is that people believe the dominant message. What message is dominant? For example, if you say, do you love me? Yeah, sure, I love you. Do people believe the words or the dominant message, which is the body language and the tone of voice? Do you say, yes, I love you? Then they believe the totality. And that's why the very best message is a message that is synchronized. The words, the tone of voice, and the body are all synchronized to the message. Very important. That's why when somebody talks to you, it's important you turn toward them and face them directly when you talk to them and listen closely to what they say and nod and pay attention.